trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake. Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his glide. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got high. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.
Suspend the show right now.
You're gonna zipline directly into the harpoon?
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show. We're live, uncut, and uncensored on CBW Radio, broadcasting you live from the WSRR studios. To my right is Shani.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm radio's Rebel DJ style. It's been a minute since we had the weekend update with Pete Davidson here.
Yeah.
It's the weekday, but you know.
Yeah. I feel like we talk about Pete not like enough for him to be one of our recurring characters.
He's no Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
he's no Kanye.
he's no Kanye, Elon.
No Elon.
He hasn't reached that status yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
What's the slow news day formula? Planes, animals, Kanye, and Elon.
Yeah.
He hasn't broke the big four, but
He's getting there.
he's getting there. I
love
listened
today.
when I made this intro a couple weeks ago, the new intro with the days.
Yeah.
I was going through some old clips to grab sound bites and went through a whole I had to sit down and listen to the whole 15-minute segment of you, me, and Shaggy talking about Pete Davidson and the Green Goblin and him being on a trip being chased by a goblin. That was a thing that happened in society where everyone just was concerned that Pete Davidson had lost his absolute mind. And he probably has.
He was like on an island or something.
He said he was trapped in a cave on acid being chased by a goblin, which, you know what? I don't doubt that for his reality.
Pete Davidson is an interesting man.
He believed it.
Yeah, I think, okay, I've always been on the Pete Davidson train.
I like watching the Pete Davidson. I like
Fair.
watching from afar. It's like a car crash, you know?
Fair, yeah.
I don't want to see it,
I don't
but
disagree.
it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Pete Davidson take. But what's going on with him now?
So Pete Davidson, he bought a dog.
Mm.
That's basically
Good. I'm
if
glad.
you really think about it, that's like the lowest way to say this
Yeah.
story. Pete
Right.
Davidson bought a dog.
Yeah.
But so he had found.
Didn't Kim Kardashian do that once?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. But
Bought a dog?
And gave it back because it was sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
but
Fucking Kim.
so he found this dog on
Or something did too, but
like the dog's. It was like not a. He shopped. He didn't adopt.
Right. He went to like a breeder or like a store.
He went to a store. He saw the picture of the dog that he wanted on the store's Instagram page.
Okay. So it was probably like some kind of breeder that has been doing this, I would assume.
And
like breeds dogs professionally type shit.
The backstory is his mom had a dog, and it was basically like their family dog. They're very close.
Right.
And it was a Cavapoo, which is a poodle breed.
Okay.
And their hair is a lot easier to maintain, and it's a lot less allergenic.
Sure.
But he is allergic to dogs.
Right.
So this is the reason he went out and specifically searched for the dog that he can be around.
He needed that specific Cavapoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
well, let me just interject real quick. They make these things now called cats. Kind of wild, man.
Okay.
If you're allergic to dogs.
So the problem is, so his family dog was only 2 years old, and it had died, like, out of the blue. It got sick and died. And so he wanted to replace the family dog for his mom, but yet he's still allergic to dogs.
Right.
He has to do it the way he has to do it.
Right.
So he found the 2-month-old dog on the Instagram page, and TMZ blasted him. They put the picture of him at the store on their thing, and they were like, "Oh, Pete Davidson is not adopting.
This is the
He's
most
a piece of
TMZ
shit."
reporting ever.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really just trying to.
this is peak early 2000s TMZ.
It's really just
like,
trying
did
to.
you guys hear that Pete Davidson bought it? And then you get the backstage shot of all the TMZ guys in the office where one dude just standing up yelling. For some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, why
So
am I
Pete
watching
Davidson, right, guys? Fucking bought a dog.
So
Who cares?
So after TMZ
TMZ
has
cares.
posted
Yeah,
this, a woman named Daphna,
Terrible name.
she basically runs PETA,
Okay.
she ran to TMZ to start dogging Pete Davidson. No pun intended.
There's pun intended.
She
I know
said,
there was pun intended.
She said it's tragic that Pete didn't seek out a borough-born mutt from the city shelter because a scrappy New Yorker with charm, personality, and unconventional handsomeness could have been his perfect match.
Time out. No, time out. You're gonna sit there. First of all, my least. This is probably my biggest issue with Pete Davidson. Is the dude looks like a wet cigarette, and everyone thinks he's the most attractive person alive. And even in this lady dogging him to TMZ was like this scrappy New Yorker who's very handsome.
Yeah, right.
Pick your side.
Right. It's a very
What's her name?
strange angle.
Daphne.
Daphne.
If you're listening to the show and your name's Daphne, stop listening.
Yeah.
Terrible name.
If you're Daphne from PETA, fuck off.
She said, since shelters in New York and across the country are overflowing with homeless animals, PETA urges Pete to show some big heart energy by adopting not shopping in the future.
That's some big heart.
He got
energy.
that dog in him, you know?
Yeah, he got that dog in him.
So, Pete Davidson obviously hated this.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? I'm literally just allergic to dogs. I had to go
Right.
a long way, probably spent way too much money on a dog because
Right,
he's allergic
right.
to dogs. But he called Daphne, found her phone number, and he said, "Hi, my name is Pete Davidson. This message is for Daphne. Thank you so much for making making comments publicly that I didn't adopt a dog. I just wanted to let you know I'm severely allergic to dogs, so I have to get a specific breed. I'm only not allergic to Cavapoos, and my mom's fucking dog, who's 2 years old, died a week prior. And we're all so sad, so I had to get a specific dog. So why don't you do your research before you fucking create news stories for people because you're a boring, tired bitch. Fuck you and suck my dick."
I'm not a big Pete Davidson guy. Like I said, I like to watch the train wreck that is Pete Davidson, but he's in the right here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, TMZ doing research doesn't exist.
Yeah, no.
That's not. The only time that TMZ is a trustworthy source is when someone dies.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
time I will turn to TMZ like, well, TMZ reported it. It's gotta be true.
Right.
This person's no longer on this earth. Anything other than that, TMZ sucks.
Yeah.
TMZ is very much a product of the early 2000s with MTV2 and Spike.
Is TMZ, is that still a show, even?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't
It's
think
a
so.
really shitty show.
It's gone the way of Spike and MTV2 and
Yeah.
FXX.
Yeah.
FXX might still be around still. I don't know if cable.
They had the movies. FX has the movies.
Well, My Name is Earl's on TBS.
I love FX.
Then there's a billboard, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So after this, everybody obviously hates PETA. That's been a thing.
Yeah, so let's clarify real quick. PETA sucks.
Yes.
There's no one, even if you're like pro animal
Yeah.
rights, no one's on PETA's side anymore. PETA dug themselves into a hole that they physically cannot get out of. They kill animals.
Yeah.
PETA kills animals.
PETA kills animals.
So
PETAkillsAnimals.com, actually.
Yeah.
PETAkillsAnimals.com took this into their own hands, and they created a billboard that says PETA can't handle Pete's BDE, Buy Dog Energy, and that's a basic rip off of what she said to
big heart energy.
Big heart
BHE,
energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
It's so
You got
fucking
BHE,
awesome.
you got BDE.
I got BD, or at least Pete's got BD.
That sounds like
That sounds
a
like
bowel.
bad something.
Yeah. Sounds like you got IBS or something. Oh
Bad-
man, he's got BDE.
Oh shit. He's pooping out dogs.
He's got that dog in him, man.
Hey, dude.
What can I say?
But
Woof.
Also,
So they put wait, hang on. They put this on a billboard where in New York?
Yes.
Times Square, motherfucker.
That is what they say. And so it's just by PETAkillsAnimals.com funded this billboard.
Yep.
Okay, and PETA, I'm assuming, wants it down.
Oh yeah, PETA was so PETA flooded the phone lines of PETAkillsAnimals.com, and it basically bullied them into taking it down in like 24 hours, less than 24 hours.
That's dumb.
So
Fuck PETA, man.
Buy Dog Energy.
Yeah. Get some bi-dog energy in you, PETA.
So it's down now.
Yes.
All because he bought a dog.
Yep.
That's so ridiculous. He had to buy the dog because he's allergic to the dog,
Yeah,
to
like-
every other dog.
I do remember Ariana Grande said something about him being allergic to dogs, and he had to have a Cavapoo, like, when they were together.
Huh.
And that was when he first bought that dog for his mom, the 2-year-old dog.
This is just every time I look at the screen and see this, it's just so reminiscent of early 2000s TMZ reporting of like who the hell is the one I just said? Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Paris Hilton buys dog. Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian buys dog and gives it like who gives a damn?
Yeah, who
Well,
actually cares?
That's like, you brought that
And
up.
then they're gonna slam him for it.
Yeah. I mean, he needs. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, of all celebrities to go after, this seems like the most justified celebrity to be like, shut the fuck up, Peter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do my thing here.
Yeah.
Because it is a big.
We did a story months ago, not even a full calendar year ago, that Pete Davidson was high on acid, getting chased by a goblin, and everyone was like, "I hope he's okay."
Yeah.
and
yeah.
now it's he bought a dog. How dare you?
Honestly, it seems like more people are on Pete's side in this case than anything.
Clearly
Yeah,
not this.
right.
What the hell's her name?
Daphne. from
Daphne?
PETA.
Stupid name.
Fuck Daphne and fuck PETA.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
PETA's also the group that parades a box truck of it's chicken wired box truck, and they buy a bunch of chickens and stuff them in this box truck completely full, and they parade it around to different events saying this is how people treat chickens.
Nice.
That's
That's-
how you're treating chickens,
That's
PETA.
That's a great. That's a pro strat right there.
Right.
pro gamer strat right there, PETA. Just add to your own problem.
Has anyone ever been on the side of PETA for anything? Like, can
So-
anyone say anything good about PETA?
That's so weird. That's so weird. It's so sad that like, clearly this organization was like meant to. It was founded, or at least I would hope founded in good nature, and then like. We come to find they're just killing. They're doing the exact opposite of that, and they're a horrible company, And then going as far as to like, just for relevancy's sake, bash a celebrity,
Yeah.
I don't understand where PETA's coming from on this. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to adopt a dog. Like, yes, buying a dog from some of these places are like, it's not great, and majority of them come from puppy mills.
Yeah.
and,
Right.
like, they're not in good spirits.
Right.
And that's probably why this other dog died in 2 years. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
But if that's the only way that you can get to what you need, he's not going to buy a dog that he can't touch. He's
Right,
not-
right.
like, and he's
It's
not
not
gonna,
even for him. It's not even his dog.
Yeah, it's like
He
it's a
bought the dog for someone.
Yeah, he bought the dog for his mom. Like,
yes, but he can go over there and still,
Right, but like they're shitting on Pete Davidson for he bought a dog for someone.
yeah, right.
First of
You
all,
s-
take a step back and think about. You know how expensive dogs are, especially
Yeah.
if you're not getting a
a
one from a
very
kennel.
specific kind
Yeah.
of dog that you
if
have
you're
to go
looking
to
for
a.
a specific breed,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's
Right.
expensive.
Right. This dude bought his mom a dog. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
What the hell?
We should be
He's being nice, you know.
Right.
we should be talking about how nice he is. So such a
I
good
Right.
son.
listen. I'm not putting Pete Davidson over that much. All right.
Such
No.
a good son buying his mom a dog, but no,
But-
he bought a dog.
Really
Bad
quick,
man.
this is in my head now, and I want to talk about it because I don't know if you get like
Yeah.
English bulldogs and bulldogs and,
Yeah,
and
pit
stuff
bulls,
like
yeah.
that. With the noses, right?
Yeah.
That's a breeding thing. That's
Yes.
a genetic mutation
We
over
did
time.
that.
We did that.
We did that. Yeah. No. We
Isn't
ruined,
that crazy?
We ruined that breed of dog.
I told that to my girlfriend, and she was
Yeah.
like, "What?
Yeah. We should like.
That's a crazy."
We should probably
I mean,
stop making English bulldogs and
Right.
pit bulls because
Right.
like that's
and pugs.
that's why they don't
Pugs,
live very
yeah.
long. Pugs. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they don't live very long.
You have to like clean in between their wrinkles and shit. We
Yeah.
did that to them. That's so
Yeah.
weird.
And
That's so
w-
weird
you know
and
what?
fucked up, kind of like.
Apologies to anyone out there who has a pug, but I don't know why we did that because it's not a cute looking dog.
Some of them are, but
I
Looks
think
like
they're
it ran
cute.
into the
it's an
glass
occasional.
wall.
I think they're cute. I like it.
It's
Yeah.
a case by case basis on
Yeah.
whether they're cute. Honestly,
Yeah.
It's like a Pete Davidson kind of thing.
yeah.
I like them. I think they're cute. But yeah, no, it's definitely fucked up. When I found that out, I was very upset. I was like, "Damn it, humans!
Yeah.
Why are we doing this
Yeah.
to dogs?"
Well, Pete Davidson's not.
Yeah. Pete Davidson's.
Pete Davis.
Also, the type of dog that he was looking for, you would never find in a shelter.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing, right?
I'm assuming
The-
it's a very like
It's
or
a posh
higher
dog.
end. Yeah, a higher end.
Well, not that he can even
nicer
step
dog.
foot in a shelter, right? Isn't he like hyper allergic?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he couldn't even walk in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He couldn't. He literally couldn't like go
That's
by
why
the
he was-
cages to look at the dogs.
Yeah.
He would
It
break
makes
out
a lot
or
of
something.
sense as to why he was searching for these dogs online and why he found the
Right,
dog he wanted
right.
on the Instagram page.
That's. I mean, it's just TMZ wanting a story and then PETA wanting to be relevant.
This is
I feel
exactly
like.
what I'd expect from someone named Daphne.
Yeah, fucking Daphne.
Imagine the audacity.
The audacity.
The audacity to go around with your name being Daphne.
Oh, I just got a message. It said, so when I said he said that she was a bitch, he actually said that she was a cunt. It was bleeped out. It was.
See, look at that.
completely
We've done more
lost.
reporting than TMZ already.
So she was a cunt.
Look at
not
that. We
bitch.
fact checked our
There you
statement. We've done more reporting than TMZ does. We got to go to break. 216-859-8699 if you want to text into the show.
CBW Radio.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher. Low rider drives a little slower. Low rider is a real goer. Hey. Low rider knows every street, yeah. Low rider is the one to meet, yeah. Low rider don't use no gas now. Low rider don't drive too fast. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip and see. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
Do you think OJ knows that he's not famous for football? Even though he tries to act like he is.
He's like, hey guys, what's up?
He's completely blacked
mean,
out the
that-
part of his memory where he went to trial for murder.
That is literally, though, how he acts
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
Live at 5 every Monday on CBW Radio. We're back on the Rebel Radio Show, 216-859-8699. If you want to text in, that's 216-859-8699. If you have a pug and you want to yell at me, that's fine. Also, if you're watching live on this Monday at 5 p.m. during the simulcast on Facebook on Styles Rebel Radio or the CBW Radio Facebook page, Shane's back.
Hello.
He was here the whole time,
Yeah.
but
I'm here.
he was in a
I ain't
different
never
multiverse
left.
there.
Yeah.
We had last week's Shane on.
I was hopping across the multiverse.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
back now.
Yeah.
He went out to get himself a nice steak.
Hey. Yeah.
So let me break this down. We talked a
Break
little.
it down.
Yeah.
Break it down.
When someone offers to buy you something, especially at dinner, right?
Right.
And they say, "Hey, get whatever you want off the menu."
Mhm.
You still typically try and find something pretty reasonably priced, right?
Right. I'm not gonna go crazy. That's like disrespectful.
There was one time in my life, real quick story, where my boss at the time, who was an asshole to us,
Mhm.
was like, "Hey, I need you to go out and do this, whatever it was. It wasn't part of my job. Go out and do this for me, and in return, I'll buy you lunch today." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, whatever." So like,
Mhm.
typically you'd buy us pizza, something like that, from the menu because there's a restaurant attached to the place I worked,
Okay.
and so typically we'd get a pizza or calzone, something like that.
Right.
When he comes back and he hands me the menu, he goes, "Pick something off the menu, whatever you want, they'll make it."
Mhm.
So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity to pick the most expensive thing on here because I'm at work, and you're
Yeah.
having me do something that's not my work."
Right.
That's the one exception to this. But this,
And that's valid. That's valid.
but it's also the first time I ever had egg on a burger.
Oh.
Highly recommend.
No, egg on a burger is really
Yeah,
good.
It shouldn't be. By
No, I
all
like
means,
it.
it shouldn't be.
I like
but
it
it
a
is.
lot. I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
But regardless, from Pop Crush, which is a new site to me, I've never seen Pop Crush before.
I feel like I've heard
I've
of.
seen Pop Crush.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of
but
it.
it seems
before.
very BuzzFeed-esque.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 100%,
Definitely.
100%,
So this might
100%.
be the new BuzzFeed on the show.
Yeah.
But they have a story about how Reddit slammed a family who abused the story goes an uncle took his nephews and his sister and his brother-in-law out to dinner because they don't see each other a lot.
Mhm.
And he's like, "You know what? There's a nice steak place down the street from me, a nice steakhouse. We'll go out to there. You guys get whatever you want. It's on
Mhm.
me, right?" So the family goes out to the dinner, and the uncle's going to pay for it all.
Mhm.
And the nephew, the kid nephew,
Right.
says, "Well, I want a tomahawk steak." And the tomahawk steaks, I think it says somewhere in here like 36 ounces, and it's got 3 sides, and it's a big meal.
Yeah,
$190.
It's
$190.
$190
$190 steak right
for this
there.
one steak meal, steak
with
dinner.
3 sides. That's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, Texas Roadhouse, you can just go like what, $35?
Yeah.
That same thing.
Yeah,
Not sponsored by Texas Roadhouse.
but
we'd
we'd
like
like
to be.
Yeah, I
They
love
got
their
free
buns.
peanuts if you're hungry. Just walk in,
Yeehaw.
eat them off the floor.
Yeah.
But so they go out, and the uncle's like, "Well, maybe, that's a big steak. It's a lot of food. Maybe you want to pick something smaller." To which the father gets very offended by this, and he says, "Hey, he knows what he wants. He can eat the steak if he wants the steak." And the uncle goes, "All right, well, it's a lot of food. If he doesn't finish the food, you're gonna pay for it then." He says, "All right, that's fine. That's fair, right?"
Mhm.
So the waitress comes over. She takes everyone's order. She gets to the kid. She takes the order of the steak, and she goes, that's typically a meal that 2 or 3 people split. That's a lot of food. Are you sure you want to order that?" And again, the father doubles down. He's like, "No, he's gonna get the steak. He wants the steak. He's gonna get the tomahawk steak, right?"
He's gonna eat it.
Yeah, and he's gonna eat all of it. And so obviously the food comes out, the steak comes out. He doesn't eat the steak. He eats like a third of the steak, if that.
Right.
And the father has
Yeah.
to pay for the meal.
Yeah.
And even to the point where his wife, the sister, goes, "I don't know why he did that. It's stupid. He blew $190 on one meal, and the uncle paid for the rest of the food. And
Right.
that was literally all of our money for the rest of the week that we were in town. We were gonna go take the kids to see Spider-Man. We can't now." Like, what an asshole move.
The dad blew it.
Right.
The dad really blew it.
Way to
like, hey,
fumble
hey,
the
hey,
bag.
hey.
The
Go
mom should
over,
have spoke
hey.
up. Honestly, the mom should have spoke up at that point. Like, if anybody knows your kid, it's
Yeah.
you.
Right.
And you know
Well-
that they're not going to eat this 30-ounce steak.
I don't
I
think,
can barely eat a 16-ounce steak.
Yeah, I don't think there's any kid who's gonna eat a 30-ounce steak and 3 sides. I just don't think I think that's bigger than the
Right.
kid. Like,
I don't know why the father's ego is hurt so much by that.
Right,
It's like, well,
he's-
maybe you should get something smaller. Whoa.
whoa.
Maybe your kids get something smaller.
Yeah, right. Like, chill.
It's like, dude, what the hell? $190 for a steak and some sides. I'm sure this was a
Yeah.
nice place.
I'm sure it was a fantastic steak.
Cause like, okay, watch
What a waste of $190 steak on this kid.
I
watch
know,
this
right?
rationale too. Even if I'm that kid and like My uncle's like, okay, I'll get you. You go. We can go to the steakhouse. I'll get you whatever you want. And I'm like, oh, I want this tomahawk steak. And then my uncle's like, oh, actually, that's really expensive. You're young. You don't understand the
Right.
concept of money and how big that is yet. You're not gonna eat all
Right.
of that. And then the dad's like, well, hold on, wait, no. You don't. This is my kid, all right. You can talk to your kids however you want. This is my kid.
And the crux of the argument, there's a quote in here from the dad that says, you're just cheaping out. You don't want to pay the $190 for the steak. Like, dude, this guy offered to buy all of you dinner.
Yeah,
And
yeah. He's not cheaping out.
Yeah.
And if
he's-
one of these steaks, if this steak is like the highest at 190, the rest of those steaks aren't cheap.
Right.
Because, like, even as a kid, I'd be like, okay, well, $190 is, you know.
I don't know.
like,
As a kid, I don't think I would have even understood what $190 is.
I mean, yeah, I probably would have wanted it, but I don't know. I like to think that in my eyes, if my uncle's like, that's a lot of money.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, I believe you. Like,
Yeah.
maybe
And-
I'll just get a strip.
Even
The fact that the waitress even said it. And
Yeah.
the kid
Yeah,
changed his mind.
right.
even at 23 years old, if I go out to a restaurant with my family and then they've been to this place before and I haven't, I'm like, yeah, I think I'll get the steak meal. And my dad's like, that's a lot of food. I'm like, well, maybe I'll take a look at something smaller.
Right. Like, at the very least,
If you're
just
telling me it's a lot of food, maybe
Yeah.
I'll take a look.
heed the warning.
Yeah.
Heed the warning.
It's like you watch a regular show and they do the excellent challenge. They get the
Yeah.
dude spends all his life trying to eat this egg eating meal. Yeah. It just seems like a waste of a $190 steak.
Yeah.
That's the real tragedy here. I would love a $190 steak.
No, it probably was like a really good meal.
Right. I was trying to rationalize this
Why?
too.
Okay, why didn't the dad just nix his meal and eat whatever the kid didn't eat?
Because his kid was going to eat it.
Yeah,
He's going to eat that meal.
Because the dad was too prideful.
Why?
It's such a weird
It
hill
makes
to die
no
on.
sense.
Right.
It's
I'm
such a
saying.
weird hill to
I'm
die
saying.
on.
Do we know how old this kid was?
That's what I was going to ask if you guys could find in the article.
Yeah, I don't know if it.
Because it seems like he's a
Young.
relatively young kid.
I'm
yeah.
assuming, younger teen.
15.
Okay,
Oh.
that
15-year-old
makes
nephew.
sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
No, at 15, I'm still like, it's too much food.
Well, at 15, if my uncle's telling me like that might be too much food, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, you might be
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna listen to my uncle.
He's old enough to understand
Right.
$190 is $190.
For us.
Oh
steak.
yeah, and a 15-year-old definitely has that rationale of money. So that
Yeah.
kid's kind of just an asshole.
Yeah, the kid's
Yeah.
the asshole at this point.
I think the dad's the bigger asshole, though.
The kid is the main asshole.
I would be willing to bet. I'd be willing to put not $190 down, but I'd be willing to bet that at the point where the uncle is like, you know what, that's a lot of food, the kid might have had a second thought. And he's like, because it doesn't say that he retorted with anything. It doesn't say
Right.
the kid came back at him and was like, well, I want this.
Right.
The story goes that the uncle told the nephew that, hey, that's a lot of food. Are you sure you don't want to pick something smaller? And then instantly the dad was on the scene like, he's going to eat that.
Yeah, and that's
Don't you say that
and
to
that's
him.
kind of how I picture
Yeah.
it too. It's just the dad immediately being like, "Whoa, wait, hold on, step out."
Who the hell do you think
yeah,
you are?
right.
I feel like this is like a case of like some toxic in-laws type
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like this is Vince McMahon.
No,
I think he knows that their financial situation is lower than the uncle's financial situation,
Yeah.
and he wanted to be like,
we're reading deep.
he as soon as he was like, "Hey, that's a little much," the guy was like, "No, we're good for it. Stop."
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah, no,
We're good.
I was gonna say like if I'm the uncle at that point, I'm just gonna be like, well, you guys can pay for your own fucking
Right.
meals. Then
I
I'm
was
gonna,
I would've left.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get chicken.
I'm gonna pay for my steak and go the fuck back to my hotel. Fuck you guys.
Which good on the uncle for thinking on his feet and be like, well, you're gonna buy it if he doesn't eat it.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's a good clause
Yeah.
to be like, well,
And he agreed to it too. The
Yeah.
dad was so gung ho about this.
You
I
think
love
the kid
that.
got grounded for not eating the steak?
no, they took it home and definitely
Dad
ate
didn't
it.
speak for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ate the steak.
He was definitely pissed that
They
his
all
kid
had
didn't
steak
finish
for
it,
dinner
though.
the next day.
Steak and broccoli and mashed potato, whatever the sides were, French fries.
I was trying to rationalize because even the waitress is like, it's usually a shared meal, right?
right.
It's 190. It's 30 ounce.
Yeah.
Does it say 30-ounce steak?
That's so
$190,
huge.
30-ounce steak and 3 sides. I'm trying to rationalize how many people I'd have there helping me with this steak because that's a lot
Well,
of steak and sides.
I'm
A
trying to think
usual
of, like-
steak that I order from somewhere is 16, so you would get
But do you finish it all?
usually
Oh.
sometimes.
No.
I don't
fuck
know.
me.
There's a, like
I'm just trying to envision.
sometimes I finish it, sometimes I don't. You
Right.
know.
I'm trying to
three
envision like
sides.
the plate size of it all, because his
Yeah.
plates were definitely took up the most table room.
It says it in here when the waitress brought out the plate. It took up the majority of the table too. Like this
Yeah.
kid's meal was the table.
That's what I'm saying. Like the kids' plates, because there was definitely more than one for all the sides and shit, had to have been the biggest out of everyone's there, which is
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
Tomahawk steaks at these type of restaurants, they tend to take up the table.
Yeah.
I just imagine his sister sitting there, like Jesus Christ. I ordered like a side salad.
Yeah, yeah.
She ordered
Ordered
What
the
the hell?
soup. What the hell?
Soup's not a meal.
Soup's a meal.
Soup's not a meal.
It can be.
Definitely can be. You ever had a good clam chowder? That shit's filling.
Soup is not a meal, Jerry.
I think soup's a meal.
I am also on the soup's a meal.
On the soup train.
Yeah.
What's the rationale? What's the rationale of this father?
I just think
he was
Right.
willing to gamble all of the money they brought with him on this.
Yeah.
216-859-8699. Let me know what you think about the steak dinner.
CBW Radio.
That's where the dicks hang out.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
There's physically a rendered penis on your screen that you can shape and mold to your desire. Why?
Why not? Live on CBW.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. You know, Mom always said life is like a box of Ray's mystery. You never know what you're going to get.
That's the truth.
But you do know you're going to get 15% off when you go to repsports.com and use promo code CBW Sent Me. That's right, CBW Sent Me at checkout gets you 15% off your entire order. You can get Ray's Energy on the go samples. You can get pre-workout. You can get Hyper Sleep Powder, Broken Arrow, all of it. Throw it in your cart. Save 15% your total order at checkout with promo code CBW Sent Me. And maybe here in a distant future, not so distant future, you might be able to order it right there in front of your face. Don't even need a computer or a phone.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Apple Vision Pro, is it called?
Yes, the Apple Vision Pro. So this is Apple's newest. They're calling it a first generation product. They're embarking into the world of VR, and it's seemingly a VR headset. It runs on its own OS. It's called Vision OS, like how Mac runs on Mac OS,
Yeah.
iPhones run on iPhone OS, shit like that.
iOS.
iOS, right. So the first big thing right off the bat is like people have been talking about how you can see the people's eye. You can see the person's eyes if they're wearing the headset. There's a setting to where the people who are wearing the headset can see the outside world and see like all directions, stuff like that. And the outside world, there's an OLED screen on the outside of the Vision Pro, and you can, I think it's something, I don't know the exact amount of cameras, but it's some ridiculous amount, like 32 cameras looking at both of your eyes. So
and it just projects that screen to the outside world.
Right.
Wow.
And then I don't know. I just wanted to get your guys' like opinion on it, because I feel like I watched a big long video essay on it, and it feels to me like this is the next step in what people are going to be doing. Like, give it a couple of years, and this will be the new society meta.
I want to know, how practical is it? Like, what can you do with it?
So that was a huge thing, and it runs its own computer, so it's you can. Like the big thing was that you can tap it because there are cameras all around the like goggles, I guess you can call it. You can put your hands can be anywhere, and you can just tap and like open new tabs, scroll through pages.
It's what they wanted Google Glass to be.
Literally, yes, it's what they wanted Google Glass to be. And like, say you're running on a Mac, or say you're doing something on a Mac, business related, or work, whatever. If you have the Vision Pro on, and I think you have to pinch the Mac screen. Like, if you have the Mac open, pinch the Mac screen with the Vision Pro on, and you can like flick it up, and it will just be
in the air.
Yeah, a window in the air. And that was another thing. There's a dial on the side of it, and you can like transfer how immersed you are in the VR world. So like, you can have it so
you can change the augmented reality on it.
Right. So like, I can either be looking at the outside world with like a couple windows open, and just like see you guys in the background and still be able to click on or I can turn the dial the other way completely and be like a regular VR completely immersed in the VR world, and it looks like, I think they just have like space around you or something like that.
I saw a meme about that, and it was like the Google, or not the Google, the Apple head thing that you were talking about.
Vision Pro.
There you go. And it was the actual screen of it, and it was like a football game, and underneath it you saw like a woman's chest and like a table, and they were at dinner. It's just like the football game over her face.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the point where Shane's just walking down the street playing Fortnite.
Yeah, no, that's how it's gonna be. Yeah. And like, another thing that I thought was really crazy was like, you can take pictures and video because there's microphones all around it, and you have headphones like on the head strap, and it looked like a really comfortable head strap too.
So I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and I'm looking at a picture of a woman has them on, and she's got the eyes on the screen in front. It looks pretty much how you'd envision it. It's a little goofy, but like, it's passable. I could see people walking down the street in this. This seems like something you'd see in a TV show based in the near future. You know? And another thing, they're not crazy expensive for what it is.
3,500 or 30.
Yeah, no, 3,500. I expected it to be more.
Yeah,
but for at least 10 grand, at least for the first ones that came out, because this is pretty high tech stuff.
And this, they just announced this. It's releasing next year, and they announced it now to give third-party brands the time to build apps for this specific OS. Because right now, like, when you buy it, it's just gonna have Apple apps on it, right? Like the first generation iPhone or something like that. There was only Apple available apps,
Well,
and it's probably only compatible with Apple devices.
Right,
so,
right. Well, you won't even need
you don't need a phone.
Well, if you wanted to use it for work and like you have your Windows computers open and you grab that screen, it's not going to grab that screen because it's not Apple.
Right. No, that's a good point. Yeah, and again, to me, it seems like something where it's going to come out and Apple nerds are going to be gushing all over it, and they're going to be wearing it all the time. And then a couple years down the road, it's going to be only like really bougie rich people. Oh, you got the Vision Pro. Oh, and then a couple more years after that, it's going to be like how AirPods are now, where everyone just kind of has them, and it's like, okay, well, you have the Vision Pro on, whatever, like you're wearing your VR headset, whatever. So am I, or my aunt has a pair and she wears them all, like, it's going to be normal.
I think for the first year or so, it's going to be exactly that. It's going to be just like the Oculus was and Google Glasses were, where it's like, okay, this is really overhyped, and you're kind of weird for wanting
Right.
that and wearing
Only
it.
only nerdy people in the know
And
who
you'll know,
want to
like-
seem cool.
It's going to be overhyped just like the metaverse was.
Right,
where
right.
That's a thing now.
right.
That's a fucking thing. The metaverse
It's
is
real.
a thing.
Yeah, you can
And,
go
like,
there.
Yeah, people can just go there at
We
any
could do
point
the
they want.
show from the
We
metaverse.
could.
That's crazy.
We could.
Straight up.
And guess what? How many people do you know that use the metaverse?
Yeah.
It was
that's
going
what
to
I'm
change
saying.
the game, right? That's
Right.
how we're going to use the internet from now on.
Goose egg.
Shops were going to be in there.
Yeah, nothing.
You're not going to be able to. You don't have to go to the movies anymore
Right.
because it's all right there. You walk into a digital theater. You don't
It's-
have to turn on your Xbox.
it's a
It's all right
joke.
there.
It's
It's a
literally
joke.
a joke.
And I think that's how this will be for the first year or two.
Mhm.
Because the only thing I had seen about it before you brought it in today
Mhm.
was that Apple made a big announcement that the Microsoft Office was going to be on there.
Mm.
And their whole
Oh.
tagline ahead of that announcement was, "It's going to be your virtual experience all in front of your eyes." Right?
Mhm.
That's the big thing.
Mhm.
And everyone's like, "Finally, I can experience Excel in front of my eyes." Like, yeah, that's going to be real fun, guys. It's going to be real.
But I mean, like, for
I can
people
change
who are,
my rows and columns with my eyeballs.
It's going to be like the dean in Community when he's changing the font type. in the
yeah, yeah.
He's creating worlds.
But like, imagine companies or like a school that is entirely like funded, but or not funded, but they use Apple products.
Yeah.
You know, say a company only uses Apple products, or a university only uses Apple products, right?
Mhm.
This is gonna be so game changing for those things,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I think again, like I said, give it more time, because like Apple has such a chokehold on
Yeah.
America. Everyone has an iPhone, and that's you. It's only cool if you have an. I hate seeing green bubbles on my chats. You
Well,
know,
I
like,
do.
Right,
Green
right.
text
People suck.
Sucks.
Green
You can't-
texts suck.
You can't even react to their messages. It sends the Jules
You have
react.
haha,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Haha.
That's another crazy thing. The FaceTime is going to be like I forget what it is exactly, but they take from all the cameras that are around, they take a model of your face, and because you can FaceTime on it,
Yeah.
so you can see people. There'll be like little screens, you
so
know,
it'll
of,
be like their body talking to you, like standing there, like.
but it's not
or-
it's not an avatar. It's like a live rendered, looks kind of humanoid but kind of not, and then
It's
it
like a
has
Star Wars hologram.
and then it
And it
has
has
like
your face.
your actual face, and like as you talk it says that it looks super wild. And like, okay, this was the big one that I wanted to, because it blows my mind, and it's just a crazy thing for me for like future terms, but like future, but like you can take pictures and videos. There's a microphone on it, there's microphones all around it, there's obviously cameras all around it, right?
Mhm.
And so like I can, if I'm wearing the pair right now, I can
Mhm.
take a video. I can take a 30-second video of what's going on right now, and it will pick up all the audio. It will pick up a 3D, you know,
Yeah.
of everything around me, so that when I, hypothetically, if I put on that same pair of Vision Pro goggles in 20 years, I can be right here, right now.
Yeah.
I can be immersed in an actual moment that happened in the past.
So let me put this out for you on that train of thought, because I
Right.
do think Apple's going to have a chokehold of this when it finally starts to catch. Because I think this will be a big thing. I think
Yeah.
this will catch
I think
on.
it will take time, but
Yeah.
I think it will be a big thing.
I do. Because, again, it's not that unreasonable to see people walking around wearing this, right?
Right.
And
but
if you can see through it, then that makes
Right.
it
Right.
completely safe.
Right.
probably shouldn't drive with it on.
Yeah.
They might need to make a law about that.
Right.
But when this inevitably becomes a thing, and Samsung then is like, well, we need one too. We need to have, what's this called? The Vision Pro?
Mhm.
We need to have the Sight Experience by
Yeah,
Samsung.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Sight 3.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you use that, you heard it here first, Samsung,
Yeah,
so I want my
well,
royalties.
Give us our money.
Yeah.
Pay
So
me.
when Samsung comes out with the Sight 3 and they have their version of this, and do they just at that point buy out Meta's stock in the metaverse and
Prob-
use that as a building model, or have some kind
That
of
would be a
partnership?
really smart
Yeah.
idea, and that would
And then revamp it to make it actually appealing.
right.
You know-
I mean, that would be smart.
I feel like the driving with it could be a different scenario. We could make it like Spotify, have a car mode, and you can see like the map.
Yeah, but that also means you could use it without it, and that's the dangerous part.
Yeah, it seems
We
like
ha-
that's too new
There's
of a thing,
ideas
and
for it.
there's ideas
We've got
that, like,
cars already that project the GPS on your dash.
Yeah.
We have that. That's a thing. We don't need you to put on goggles to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have that. And if this ever has to go to the court of law, use that argument where
Yeah.
if you really want that, buy a car with that in it.
Yeah. Buy a car with a smart
I already
dash.
spent
Yeah.
too much money on my Vision Pro.
But I already
Yeah.
bought the Vision Pro. I have to use it now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like cool, but it's a little weird. It's a little too
It's
like
new.
Of
We're
all the
scared of new.
of all the weird technological advancements and things coming out like the neurochip and the metaverse and all this
Right,
other stuff, all
right.
of this AI bullshit, this is probably the thing I'm the most on board with because it doesn't seem like it's going to make. I understand why people are freaking out because like, oh, we're
Mhm.
just all going to be locked in a digital world. Then it takes us farther back from what's actually happening around us,
hmm
and that also does open the opportunity for like things to change more rapidly and drastically
Right,
around us without us
right,
knowing. It's a
right.
distraction.
right.
I get it. But at the
Wally
same
World.
but at the same time, this seems like the least harmful of them all.
Here's my big thing about it. Well, here's a
Also,
thing
it's going
that
to
I-
ruin people's eyes.
It's
no one
gonna
talks
ru-
about that.
For
no,
sure.
it's gonna ruin people's eyes. To have something scanning your
Blue light.
retinas for multiple hours on
Yeah.
end can't be good. But like this seems to me, and next to like certain AI chatbots like ChatGPT and stuff like that, this seems to be the next thing that's going to be that's super futuristic and super like captivating to a normal audience, an everyday
Yeah.
Joe, to buy these. Like this seems like this will be the most accessible to the normal person, whereas all these other like the brain chip and
Yeah.
the Tesla bot and stuff like that, those seem like it's a 10 or 20, like it's a couple years away
Yeah.
before that comes into actual society and like
yeah, this
people like
is going to come out in a couple months. And
This
people are
is-
like, that makes sense.
right. This is going to come out next year, and
Yeah.
and people are going to be like, yeah, they're here now, and
This
we
is-
have to. So it's like, and people are going to buy them. You
Yeah.
can go to the Apple Store near you, and
We're going to get to the point like when we were in elementary school and the MacBooks first came out.
yeah,
And they
Yeah.
had big MacBook carts, and it was
Yeah.
it was the future, man. These little white laptops that can do it, and they have GarageBand
Mhm,
on them,
mhm.
and you can do all the cameras on them, and they have the
Yeah.
CamWow.
You can do
right?
yeah, it's- yeah.
That's going to be these. That some teachers are going to roll out a cart of just the Vision Pros.
Just a bunch of Vision Pros. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, kids, put on your Vision Pro.
Yep.
Put on your goggles.
Having class in the metaverse today.
That's in the Appleverse.
In the Appleverse, yeah. In the Microverse?
Oh, jeez.
They can use that for smaller kids when it's like snowing out. Just put them on the playground in the metaverse.
Kids got screwed, man. I'm just
Well,
saying.
yeah,
they don't get to skip school anymore.
That's the thing. Like snow day, not in the Appleverse, man.
they
Just
don't
put-
even have snow days now. You hop on Zoom.
Yeah, just put on your goggles.
Yeah,
You're
COVID
right.
ruined it for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but now that the other thing is they have Chat GPT and stuff, so they can
Yeah.
cheat on their homework way easier than we
Man,
ever
if
could.
I had
Oh, yeah.
ChatGPT.
Right, I would use that for literally everything.
What was the math one we used to use?
Photomath.
Photomath.
Photomath. And
Yes.
Photomath was wrong so often.
Yeah, Photomath would fuck it up hard.
But there's also times where Photomath like got the right answer but the wrong work.
Oh, yeah. It'd do
Yeah.
like some
And
college
your
level
teacher-
work to
Yeah.
it.
Your
You-
teacher's like,
How do you know how to do this? We were not learning this way to
I
learn
don't.
to solve
I
this
copied
equation.
it off my phone.
Yeah. You caught me. I'm cheating on my phone.
You caught me. I'm fucking stupid.
Back in my day, we had to open up a Quizlet and find out why Gatsby killed someone. That's not even. I had to read. I still had to read. I still had to read and write. You don't have to do
Dude,
that.
Imagine, okay, you're using your Vision Pro. You have your school open, and then just in a little
ChatGPT. open
yeah,
over
just a
there.
little tab off to the side. You have your Chat GPT, and then you're just feeding what your teacher
Yeah.
is saying directly into the Chat GPT. And then when you're done with school, say, "Okay, do all my homework."
Right.
All right, everything that she said, do, or they said,
just
do.
take a recording of your
Yeah.
teacher and then upload it right to ChatGPT.
Yeah,
And be like, here's the information. Now here's the questions.
yeah.
Man, book reports would be so damn easy.
It's gonna be wild.
That is probably the easiest homework to do with
Oh,
ChatGPT.
yeah. Book report.
It's like,
Come
hey,
on.
or summer book reports where it's like, hey, read a book over the summer and here's a packet.
Do
Man,
you,
just go on ChatGPT and be like, so why is The Great Gatsby a thing?
do you remember? I remember being in high school. It was like a newer website, and you would type in what topic you wanted to write a summary about, and then all you would have to do is click on any key on the keyboard, and it would type out like I think it would just copy and paste from Wikipedia, like certain
Really?
splices of the articles about whatever you put in the search bar, but that, in my eyes, is like the beginning of ChatGPT doing homework.
Proto GPT.
Proto GPT. Yeah.
No, I never used that. That's insane, though.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to school like this day and age and be like, oh, I
I-
can just
Yeah, how
Yeah.
easy is it to
yeah.
coast?
Yeah,
How
probably.
easy is it now?
Because like we had it
Probably.
pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We coasted pretty fucking
Yeah.
easy in school, but like I feel like
We
you don't
still
even
did
have to
some work.
try now.
Nowadays, it's literally you show up and just probably hit record or type in whatever
Yeah.
you heard your teacher say.
We
and-
at least when you had to write an essay about something, we'd get called out for plagiarizing. We couldn't
Yeah,
copy and
right,
paste. Now you
right.
say chat GPT.
yeah, and now
Give
they
me
can't
an
tell.
article about jellyfish.
Yeah, they can't tell if it's
Yeah.
you or ChatGPT. They just don't know.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
insane to think about.
It really evens out the playing field for
Yeah.
the students.
If you're a parent,
That's funny.
do you let your kid use chat GPT to do all his homework?
Oh fuck yeah.
I would, but I'd be like, I didn't see this.
Hey, if my kid is using Chat GPT, they're already smarter than me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And the thing is, the Vision Pro is just gonna make it easier.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, if it does become like a normal thing, it really just is gonna make cheating in
Yeah.
high school way easier. You know,
Yeah.
because high schools are gonna integrate this. It's gonna be a thing. Like how we're talking about, they
Yeah.
wheeled in the MacBooks and it was super cool. They're gonna wheel in the Vision Pros and it's gonna be awesome.
They're gonna
and-
put blockers on your Vision Pro.
right,
So
right.
when you try to go to like the Newgrounds on school websites,
Yeah,
something that
yeah.
comes up the big
Yeah.
website blocker.
Your whole screen is just blurred.
It's just mosaic blur on your
yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Like, what the hell, man? I
They
paid
blocked it.
$3,500 for this thing.
I think that would do very well if they gave kids like online testing on those, because if it's scanning their eyeballs, it can show you where they're looking as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's from the what I saw of this. It was someone who like went to the conference and actually got to like try it on and use it.
And open up PowerPoint.
Yeah, he said the eye tracking though was like the best that he had ever seen out
That's
of
cool.
any VR, and it was like super accurate. Right as he's pointing to something, it like highlights that or
Yeah.
like outlines that thing that he's pointing, and then so it seems like the eye tracking is going to be the best.
It's a crazy concept. Just to think, you talk about exponential growth all the time,
right.
but like it's a crazy concept to think about how revolutionary we thought the Wii was,
oh my god.
and like
Mhm.
that tracking sucked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Switch's tracking is even worse.
Yeah.
But like the Wii tracking, so your sensor bar would fall or
Yeah,
get
your
dusty,
sensor
and
bar
you
was
couldn't
literally like a plastic stick, and it would
Yeah.
like, that shit was so.
it'd get a little dusty, and your mouse would go all over the place or
Glitching,
cursor.
like-
Yeah, it would. If you like pointed it up, the whole the like pointer would just go everywhere
yeah.
on the screen.
Oh yeah, you're not releasing the bowling ball somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And now we're here. Now we are just walking around in VR.
Yeah, pointing,
Yep,
Like
pointing, clicking.
pinching with our hands, like or with our fingers. Like it's literally, and like from, I might have already said this, but your hands can, because there are cameras all around the goggles, your hands can be anywhere. Your hands can be at your sides, and because there are cameras pointing in all directions on the outside of the goggles too, like as well as the inside.
Yeah.
I feel like this
You can put your hands anywhere and
Sorry.
scroll. No, you're fine. Scroll and pinch. That's all. Like it's
my
just
brain
crazy
just
to me.
like thought, I was like, I feel like this may help with like crime too. Like if everybody's wearing one of these and it has all these cameras and it's all recorded.
You're paying me. You're paying me if you want my CC footage,
yeah,
dude.
You're using my Vision footage,
Yeah.
my Vision Pro footage.
I
You're
don't
gonna have to
think
pay
so,
me. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
But,
Go
like-
go to the 7-Eleven and get their footage
Right,
then.
right. Go to the guy who was standing next to
I know
me.
exactly who did it. I got a crystal clear picture of him, and I added him on Facebook.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
Pay
Like,
out.
And obviously, this is an Apple product, so it's going to have a tracking device.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're going to be able to pinpoint like where this person was at what time, and then get actual video footage of the crime or.
When's the first true crime documentary come out where it's like, and they tracked his location via his Apple Vision Pro.
as soon
and
as, this
as
thing
he
comes out.
recorded
Yeah.
the whole incident.
And his
Yeah,
Apple
yeah.
Vision Pro was recording from the back seat.
Yeah. Saw the entire crime.
It's gonna be a reality.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
It's coming out next year.
I'll say of all the crazy technology we've talked about on this show, and recently we've done a lot of it, this is probably the thing I'm most likely to get. I don't think I
Right.
will, especially at this price this soon, but like I wouldn't mind having one.
I'll wait for the 5th generation.
It's the same thing as the Oculus. I still don't have an Oculus because I don't get the huge hype between it. It'd be fun to play every now and then. But I haven't gone out and bought one. If I get one for like $50? Sure, I'll go get an Oculus. Will I play it? Hardly. Probably not. But I'd try Beat Saber a time or two. You know?
Right.
See, the
It's the same-
problem with me is I don't think I would ever buy this, but that's because I'm severely motion sick, and anytime I've ever tried VR, it makes me super dizzy and like makes me
But,
want to
like,
throw up.
You'd kind of just be, especially if you're just doing the camera thing, you'd kind of just be looking like you are now. Just kind of feel like wearing goggles, right? Isn't that the goal of it?
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I assume that they're semi-comfortable too. I
want to know how peripheral vision works in these things. That's my big thing.
Well, that's the dial to like bring in the
gotcha.
world or take out the world is like.
But
I'm assuming it's as good as our eyes are because there are cameras.
Well, my eyes suck.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Then it's probably
can-
gonna be
It's just
pretty
blurry.
shitty. Yeah,
It's just really low resolution.
Can you see better?
Yeah, can you add a corrective lens to this?
Oh, that would be wild.
Can you have contact Apple Pro Vision?
I
whatever it's called?
wonder.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. And then you just wouldn't have to.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It has to like stay connected at all times, and so it looks very like weird. It's connected to like it looks like it's connected to your brain.
Yeah. What's the wire go to?
I think it's like a mag connector. Like you know how the
Okay.
Macs have like that mag strip
Yeah.
connector. I think it's one of those. And I think it's exactly what you. I think it charges and
That's
maybe
interesting.
has to stay connected. I don't know if it has to stay connected at all times. I doubt it does because then that kind of defeats
Right.
the purpose
Yeah.
of VR.
Yeah, I wonder how long
machine,
the
but
battery life is on one of these things.
Probably just okay. Probably like I'd say
24,
Couple of
48.
days.
a day or two without
Yeah.
charge until it's dead.
I mean,
Yeah.
the brand new AirPods, the AirPod Maxes, they have a 72-hour life for their battery. So.
I mean, here's the thing. I'd like to have one. I don't think I'd wear it enough. I have an Apple Watch that I don't wear, so like
Right.
that's where I'm at with this.
Right.
fair enough.
Yeah. I they're cool. Again, I could see people wearing it. Maybe we'll drop a picture in the Discord. We got to go to break. 216-859-8699. Let me know if you'd get the Apple Vision Pro.
CBW Radio.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer, or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very long ago,
just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99. This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you. Oh. Look at you. You. Unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now. Your insides out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do. It was always the plan to put the world in your hand. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
I didn't walk into this afraid for humanity, yet here we are.
Only on CBW Radio. Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. We're live, uncut, and uncensored on CBW Radio on this Monday evening. You can join us every Monday live right here if you download the free Live 365 app. Take us with you wherever you go all over the world. All you got to do is punch in CBW. Of course, 5 p.m. Eastern every Monday. Then the Rebel Podcast, 10 a.m. every Wednesday. All podcasting platforms. It's probably 5 somewhere, man.
Yeah, 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what they say.
Yeah, they do say that. I've seen
Yeah.
your boat there.
Yeah.
216-859-8699. That's 216-859-8699 if you want to text us about anything we've talked about today or at any of the other shows we produce at stylesrebelradio.com. Hey, if you join the Discord server at stylesrebelradio.com, we got a link to the official Apple Vision Pro in there, so you can see all the breakdown of that as well. But we're going from Apple to NASA.
Oh, yeah.
In the
Space,
battle of
baby.
technology,
Yeah.
I guess.
The battle of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
I think, what was it, Smosh?
So NASA is on a mission to avert.
They're always on a
the-
mission for something, aren't
to
they? These
avert
sons of
the-
bitches.
The internet apocalypse.
Ah.
That happened already.
So there's a
It happened when they
spacecraft-
shut down Flash.
So NASA launched a spacecraft that it's part of a mission of this averting the potential internet apocalypse. So the U.S. Space Agency said that the Parker Solar Probe (PSP)
Oh, I had
Not the PSP.
I had one of those.
has archived a significant milestone by navigating through solar wind. And so people are saying that this solar wind, it's going to have like a possible solar flare that's going to take out our internet
Oh,
access.
it could like just.
That's going to EMP us.
That would be crazy. Like instead of a gust of wind, it's just a gust of solar EMP, and all of our Wi-Fi goes out for like a couple years.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. And then it's gonna be even crazier when it's like, all right, so we finally tracked it down, and Wi-Fi will be back in 3 years, and then we
Yeah.
just have to wait. Like,
It's like, what the hell?
what do we do?
You know how frantic people would be to figure out a way around it?
Oh yeah, people would try to make internet like work
Internet
again.
2, baby.
Yeah, internet
we
2.
need Internet 2. Who's
Yeah.
the dumb bitch that invented Wi-Fi? Get her on the horn. Dig her up.
What would we do if that was legit? If NASA came out and was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, we caught this solar flare, we scanned it with our NASA powers, and we have determined that it will take out our Wi-Fi for approximately 5 years.
So basically, they're saying that the sun is releasing these winds and that it's giving geomagnetic storms, and which that is an area of threat for our internet communications.
It's giving geothermal storms. Yeah. Per.
I know this is probably the least important thing on the table when it comes to this, but man, I think of Bluetooth does great numbers after that.
Oh, Bluetooth is gonna skyrocket.
Bluetooth skyrockets.
Bluetooth is the new Wi-Fi.
Do we lose Bluetooth too?
I don't know how it works.
It works the same way as Wi-Fi, so I would assume.
Would we still have our data? Like, how does that work?
Where does the cloud go?
Yeah.
Does the cloud dissipate?
Is the cloud in danger?
The cloud might be in danger.
Do we have to wait another rain cycle for another cloud?
This wind might blow away our cloud.
Damn it, we're only an eye evaporation.
Imagine, like, 5 years down the road, just, like, a wave of cloud information hits another planet, and these aliens are like, why do I have a bunch of pictures of alien dogs on my cell phone now, on my alien
What the hell is Live, Laugh, Love?
Yeah. A bunch of aliens getting a bunch of random human, like, memes and shit like that.
This is a great movie plot. It's like the cloud's a physical thing.
Yeah,
that
it just keeps
planet.
going and hits another planet.
We lost the cloud, and we're on a mission.
We gotta save the cloud.
We're on a mission to find the cloud.
We lost all our data.
This is a South Park episode.
Yeah.
The cloud's gone, guys. What do you want me to tell you?
We gotta go. NASA has to save the cloud.
And it's gone.
Yeah, that's definitely like a South Park episode.
Someone stole the cloud.
I'm just not understanding.
Hang on, real quick. That's the new plot of the next Austin Powers. Dr. Evil steals the cloud.
But like, I'm trying to put my mind around it. I'm not understanding how they can stop it if it's causing these like geomagnetic storms to this extent, where it's a possibility of this happening. How do they plan on stopping this?
More magnets.
Are they going to put like a wind turbine up there?
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume find a way to create our own solar wind, like our own wind, and
like
then
a crosswind, and push it away.
Trajectory it the other way. Maybe send it back to the sun.
Now,
fuck up their Wi-Fi.
Now, I'm no meteorologist, but usually crosswinds like that at different altitude or different pressure temperatures create a hurricane or a tornado.
Let's create a space tornado.
That's hot and cold air.
Space NATO.
Space NATO.
But they move in different directions.
Yes, but they have to be a different temperature.
You need the blue circles and the red spikes.
Well, and that's the other thing. The air would probably start off really hot, and then as the wind blew, it would get colder.
What if we just take
because
the
it's
Earth
going up to space
and push it somewhere else?
Oh,
roll
let's
it
move
around.
The Earth. Let's take a big lasso and lasso the moon.
That's what I'm saying.
You want the moon?
Then what? Well,
I'll get it for you.
Then you eat it, and the moonbeams would shoot out of your hair and the tips of your fingers.
I die in this movie, and then I come back.
He doesn't die.
Yes, he does.
He just isn't born.
Is that how it goes? I haven't seen the movie probably since last Christmas.
Here's all you need to know. He wants the big one.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's a Wonderful Life, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I hope you guys picked up on that.
Oh, yeah, he isn't. I don't know.
This is like nowhere affiliated, but
Good.
NASA has launched a new campaign offering the public the opportunity to have their names stenciled on microchips and have them ride along the NASA's Euphoria Clipper spacecraft next year.
Guys, we're gonna lose all of the internet, and this is what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a great waste of fucking money right there.
Yeah.
This is what my tax dollars go to, NASA?
Yeah.
I'm going to have my name go to Jupiter and Jupiter's
more
moon.
stupider.
On a microchip.
Yeah, right.
My name's going to be on a microchip.
Something
that
you
was
will
on the
never
moon.
see.
Oh, yeah? Well, my name's on a microchip, and guess what? It just crossed the quasar section of Delta Quadrant Z.
Prove it. Show me the picture. I can't. We lost the cloud.
It's an NFT.
It's an NFT.
I own it.
Listen, guys. I know we're about to lose all of Wi-Fi, right? But for just $300 today or $900 tomorrow, I could sell you a digital picture of Wi-Fi that you will lose.
Yeah, is everybody going to lose their NFTs that they spent so much money on?
Yeah, what the hell? Isn't the crypto community supposed to be so smart? Why don't they figure this out? They're the most at risk.
What happens if we lose the internet?
Crypto tanks.
Crypto tanks, yeah.
Well, not just
Buy on the low,
crypto,
right?
It's like everything tanks. You can't have.
No, yeah, literally everything. Like, genuinely, if we lost Wi-Fi for like even 3 years, the world would go to
Hang on.
absolute dog shit.
Let's go that back. Think about losing Wi-Fi for 3 days. Let's just go with that time frame first.
Okay, if the world lost Wi-Fi, okay, do we have the predetermined knowledge that
No.
we are?
No.
It
No.
just it hits for 3 days. I think
3 days.
I think it
gone.
still goes into absolute chaos.
Oh,
Look what
yeah.
happened with COVID.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be a shit show, and then it would be like, well, it would be like how quick COVID went away, and we're just kind of back to normal
Yeah.
life. I think it would just be like, well, that shit was scary for about 3 days, and now it's back to normal. you know?
Imagine
That's a good point.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
would we do? We're so like in the internet at this point.
Yeah.
Like, every day at work, I basically work from home via the internet. There are many of people who literally live in other countries that work in.
You wouldn't be able
Right.
to listen to the Rebel Radio show.
Right,
You
right.
would-
What the hell would people do? There'd be chaos in the streets if you couldn't listen to the Rebel Radio show.
I think people would just bunker down. Like me, I would probably just sit in my house.
Yeah.
I'd probably just chill in my house
Watch
and
some
like
movies?
yeah, watch movies. I got a decent movie collection going.
DVD
I would just watch
player?
those. Yeah,
Fuck it.
And hook up the antenna to
Right.
the TV, the old rabbit ears.
Right.
See who's still broadcasting.
because
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like there would still be power. You could
Yeah.
still use your coffee grinder if you wanted to. or
Everybody
whatever.
over the age of 30 that's listening to this is like, God, these kids are so fucking stupid right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's like, what
Yeah.
the hell, man? Life
Yeah.
would go on.
Life would go on. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like I feel like 3 days is too short.
Too quick. Yeah.
3 months.
Okay.
If it went away for 3 months, I think.
I
would
think
be
by the end of month
chaos.
2, we'd be all right. All right, this is just the reality now. We're going to have to figure it out.
Maybe time would move. I think we would start to feel time moving slower.
It would be so hard though. Like considering, like just try to book a flight.
No.
No, the people wouldn't be booking flights.
Exactly,
That's not
like-
something that anyone. If the
You'd have
internet,
to drive to the fucking airport and be like, I want to fly to Davenport.
yeah,
And they'd be like, we don't know how to set this up anymore.
yeah, we don't. Know, I don't think.
Get
yeah,
on the plane.
that's the thing. No one would know what they're doing because every system is run by computers.
Exactly.
So literally every
job would be done.
How
Yeah.
quick would fast food shut down because
Yeah.
no one's competent
There'd
enough
be-
to count money?
there would be nothing.
Eh.
Well, and I think genuinely, if it's 3 months, I think everything is already looted and rioted. I don't think there's nothing.
Oh,
There's no stone that's unturned.
I think
Yeah.
within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think within the first 2 weeks, things are burning.
First
Yeah.
2 days,
Yeah.
things are burning.
The
Yeah.
first Monday that rolls around, you can't hear us.
Yeah.
This is the end.
Oh, people are
That's
gonna
it.
go crazy.
That's it.
People will riot in
Yeah.
the streets.
Yeah.
They're like,
because-
where am I supposed to get? They can't even talk about AI, even if they
Right.
were able to get on.
Right.
That's-
Right.
That's what happened.
right.
Like Shane can't play Fortnite. What is
yeah,
this
I
show
know.
anymore?
I would freak out if I couldn't play Fortnite.
That's what you'd do. You'd bunker down in your house, and then you'd be like, "All right, it's fine. I'm gonna put on a movie." And then like 4 hours would pass. Like, all right, time to play Fortnite. And you go,
Yeah.
"I can't."
yeah, that's literally. Well, I'd be okay for the first movie or two,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I'd be like, well.
Then you'd
wait a
realize you
minute.
can't play Fortnite.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, what else can I?
It's like, well, I
fucking
wonder if
do?
anything's happening on Twitter. Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Oh, nope, nothing is happening anywhere.
Well, we would still have our cellular data, right? Because that's
No.
satellite, not.
That's not satellite.
It's not.
I don't think so. Is it?
It shouldn't be internet.
It's off your phone plan, right?
Yes,
So
but it's-
there might be data. I feel like that might be a thing.
God, we're stupid.
Yeah, data might be a thing, but that would be like, I wonder how mobile companies and stuff like that would work.
This is the part you have to think about, though. It's not so
Mhm.
much like the Wi-Fi on my phone and not being able to get to the internet. It's more so like how far have we come that things are running off Wi-Fi? Like how many FM radio signals are actually just being put out by something connected to the internet?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because of that, we don't have that signal anymore. Same with TV. A lot of TV stations are digital now. They do
Yeah.
things digitally. So
Yeah.
if we lose a signal, we can't transmit onto television, onto
Right.
cable.
Right.
So like it's more so with that, I think, and like the same thing goes with internet providers. Is like if we lose Wi-Fi, how many of your phone companies go down too because they work off of Wi-Fi? They work off of internet connection, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a
'cause-
snake eating its own head because
Yeah.
they need the thing that they are providing.
and they all provide a separate Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then they can't communicate to those what are they called? Not towers. The
satellites.
thing. The satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't
Solar, whatever.
Yeah, they can't communicate to the satellites to bounce the data back. Like,
Yeah.
I think everything would go down. Yeah, data wouldn't be a thing.
I want to know if Bluetooth would.
That
I
would be
just
so.
wanna know-
I
Bluetooth
think
would.
I think maybe for the first couple days, things like Bluetooth and data would be a thing, and then I think
Is it
as
like radiation? Does it progressively get more deteriorating?
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, I think as it's being used up, it would like the signal would weaken.
Does anybody know how fucking
Yeah, I don't
the
know how
internet works or solar flares?
Because
or
it's a thing of like
EMPs?
either it's all gone or I don't think it's anything. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it's anything would be gradual. I think it's either all or nothing.
I feel
'Cause
like
it's all
there
about
has to be
connection.
something.
I feel like we'd just go back to 1983 and everyone would have TVs with ears on it again. And
Yeah.
Landlines.
man, it'd be
Yeah.
great for radio if we could figure out how to get off the internet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there would be pros.
That's the thing is like it's not like everything would be shut down if it were just the internet. It's not like everything
Yeah,
would
no.
be shut down. There'd be a lot of
There'd be a lot of chaos, like you said, the first couple weeks there. But
there
There's
would
a
be
lot of things that don't have a failsafe for something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But there'd still be like forms of communication. There would still be there'd still be ways to
landlines would come back.
There's
right,
still mail.
landlines
You
would
can write
totally come
letters.
back.
We could have car phones again.
Car phones. And the thing is, if it's only 3 months, like I think people would start to bunker down to that being the new reality, and then it would switch over, and it'd be like masks or something like that, where some people do and some people don't.
Mhm.
Some people go back to the internet, some people don't go back to the internet.
I think after those first 2 or 3 weeks,
Mhm.
we see landline phones skyrocket in price.
Oh, yeah.
People selling them, going to Goodwill and buying them up and flipping them on the
Radio
internet.
Shack comes back.
Radio Shack is coming back. That's the end goal there. 216-859-8699.
CBW Radio.
You shake more than once, we know what you're doing.
I'm gonna jack it where the sun always shines. He's gonna jack it. Been spreading the word and now I need to ease my mind. Jacking it home. Been planting them apple seeds and while the apples grow, I'm gonna go out jacking it in San Diego. Jacking it, jack. Spanking it, jacking it, spanking it, smack. I don't need no shirt, no. Gonna take them pants right off. He's about to jack it. On such a bright day, who needs underwear or socks? Jack it, been around God's country, and there's one thing I know. There's no better place for jacking it than San Diego. Jack it, jack. Spanking it, smacking it, smack. Jacking it, jack. Jacking it, spanking it, spanking it, smack. Come to San Diego, there's so much to see. From the sparkling waters of Mission Bay to the warm tortillas of Old Town. And after a day of sightseeing, why not try spanking it in one of our charming city streets? San Diego, come, take a load off. Jacking it, jack. Spanking it, smacking it, smack. Whacking it, whack. Spanking it, jerking it, smacking it, smack. The cars are passing me by, they honk and say hello. Hey, that guy's jacking. From his window, there's a guy shooting video of him jacking. And if the good Lord Jesus comes knocking on my door, just tell him that I'm jacking it in San Diego. Jacking it, jack. Spanking it, smacking it, smack. He's about to jack it. Jacking it, jacking it, whacking it, spanking it, whack. Look at me, I'm jacking it. Whacking it, whacking, spanking, whacking, stacking it. He's about to San Diego, jack, whacking it, whacking, San Diego. Spanking it, keep on San Diego, jack, jacking it. San Diego, whack, whacking it, jack. Spanking it, whacking it, spanking it, whacking it, San Diego, jack, spank, San Diego.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, only on CBW. What's her name? She went underground. She had a train.
Yeah, what's her name? Go ahead, Shane, find it.
She's important.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, that's the one. Old Tubbers. We love her.
Well, hot damn, son. Sometimes they say some things just serendipitously go together.
Yeah, like peas and cornbread. I don't know, man.
That's true, man. Every time I want cornbread, I'm like, damn, you know what? I wish I had peas. Oh, here they are.
Yeah.
Everyone's been there.
Like Bebop and Rocksteady.
There you go. That's probably a better analogy.
Okay. Thanks.
No, we spent the past 15 minutes talking about the fact that the internet could get wiped out and what would we do. And I didn't even realize our next topic was about dead internet theory.
Yeah.
And that the fact that we are self-reliant on the internet that we don't control anymore.
Yeah.
So there's that.
The internet is kind of just out of our grasp, and we have to let it run wild. It's like a horse. You have to let it be free.
And that's what's even scarier about if we were to lose the internet.
I think this is a positive if we lose the internet. That completely wipes out the AI threat.
I agree.
That is like the best possible outcome of losing all internet.
Yeah.
Is hey,
AI crashes.
Yeah. At least we know we're still in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would lose all momentum.
Yeah.
That's
you know how long that would take to build back up?
You know how much money Elon Musk would lose?
I don't even think it would be in our lifetime to be built back up.
No.
I think it would just be gone. And that's another thing, like, if Wi-Fi goes out, does that mean that all data that was, like, being saved on Wi-Fi is then lost?
Cloud's lost, man.
Lost media.
Like, does it come back?
How much lost media is made?
Oh my
This would be the
gosh.
second Library of Alexandria.
It would be the library of literally everything.
Yeah.
The library of everything.
Well, what the hell happened between 2000 and 2023? No one knows.
Yeah, it's gone.
No one knows.
Well, we became environmentally conscious, so we stopped using paper, and
there was this
everything
thing called
online,
Ticketmaster, and they made
Yeah.
a law about it. I don't know why.
It was bad. Elon Musk was there, I think.
Not exactly sure what he did. Something with robots and
And
cars.
some bird app.
Yeah. Yeah, it would
People
be
got
bad.
real mad about an orange guy. I don't really know what was going on anymore.
Yeah, it would be bad, and I would probably be scared for a little bit, and then I'd be like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just thinking about the amount of companies that did go paperless, and like, everything's stored online.
Well, that's the thing. You can't even apply to anywhere anymore without doing it online, and that's what we have an article about here.
Yeah.
Is that this dude applied for 4 fast food jobs, and because of the automated chat bot that it's given when you go to apply, he couldn't get hired on them because he couldn't get past the chat bots.
That is probably my least favorite thing about like this future conscious moving forward exponential growth internet culture that we're in is like the chat bots on websites instead of talking to a real customer support person, or like if you call a restaurant, it's like you get their IT support team out in like some middle no man's land, and you have to talk to. It's like, I just want to talk to someone working at the restaurant, or I just want to talk to someone who works for this company who's I want to talk to someone at this store.
Right.
You know, I don't want to talk to a help center guy. Like, just
If I call the store up the street because I'm looking for something up the street, I want to be able to talk to them.
Right.
I don't want to talk to someone in Reno, Nevada who's going to tell me the backlog and if they can get it there in time.
Right. And the same thing applies for like the online chatbots. I want to be able to talk because at first it was like those chatbots would like come, or like the text pages would like pop up on the shopping sites and stuff, and it would be a real person that you could like talk to. And now they're all AI.
Now it's like if you complain to DoorDash, for example, you get the chat bot, and then you have to explain yourself, and it doesn't give you the right answers, and then you're like, I want a fucking person.
And
Give me a person.
this isn't even necessarily a new thing. It's just something that, again, we're using technology in the wrong places here.
Right.
Yes.
Like this is so many steps backwards. I can't say how many times I've been on a site and something's gone wrong, or I need to reach out to support, and I have to go through 12 steps just to get someone online, just for them to disconnect, and I have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
I think it's that, like, everything's trying to be super futuristic and seemingly helpful, but in all reality, it's one step forward, 2 steps back.
Well,
you know?
I've said it many times. I'm an advocate of, I think there are a lot of jobs that can be replaced by AI and can be replaced by machines. I think there is a good majority of things that we don't really need people to do, as long as we have someone to keep the machine working.
Right.
Chatbot, probably not one of those things that I'm on board with.
Like a help center support person for whatever company you're seeking help for, probably not.
And especially any like HR recruiters, that should never be replaced by AI. Especially on like an application like this, saying you failed the chatbot.
Yeah.
A computer program should not be the one to say if you can do this job or not.
Yeah, decide if you get that job. That's not proper quality. If I were applying for that job and I found out that it was a chatbot that was like going to be viewing my resume, I wouldn't apply.
Yeah,
I would. I would be like, I'm not gonna.
That's the thing. Even let's even take it a step back and just the whole application process in general.
Like, everyone complains about... People are equally as complaining about there being a job shortage as they are not being able to find people to work.
Yeah.
Like, no one has a job because nowhere is hiring, but everywhere is hiring because no one has a job.
Yeah.
Simultaneously at the same time. That's not a
Right.
thing that should ever be able to happen, but here
Right.
we are in it.
Right.
No one's working, yet everybody's hiring.
And there
and they
are-
blame each other.
There's so many people that you hear them say, well, I've applied for 6 jobs and nobody's called me back yet.
And I think that's a big part of the problem is even... I've never left a job before I had a job. I've
Right.
never just walked out and been like, well, I'll figure it out later. I've
Right.
never done that. However, I always made sure to apply to numerous places, and places where you can physically hand an application always get back to you.
Yes.
Right.
You know how
Yeah.
many jobs I've applied for that have been like, okay, well, fill out your LinkedIn profile, then we'll send your LinkedIn profile, but you also have to fill out an application and attach your resume.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've given you the same information 9 times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're not even going to call me back.
No, I've always said that like the apps and the connecting to businesses type apps and
Mhm.
anything that's internet based for getting a job is gonna get you nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't seem like the future. It doesn't seem like that's how people get real jobs anymore. You know, like
Yeah.
it seems like that could have been a good way for people to get jobs, and it's smart, but like that's anything. I don't know. I feel like the going on Indeed and stuff like that, and you can use Indeed's resume and
Yeah.
that's just all kind of like you're
It's-
not really
You're not really applying.
Yeah.
It's great in theory. Don't get me wrong. Like
Right.
Indeed and LinkedIn and all those job sites and stuff
Right.
are great to be like, oh, hey, this place has an opening, and it's quick and easy for me to one click apply is the thing, right?
Right.
All my information's there. It sends it right over, right?
Right.
But they don't look at them ever. No one
Right.
ever like looks at their Indeed inbox
Right.
or wherever the hell it goes to.
Right.
If I go to a website, and this is how I got, I think, my last couple jobs. Go to a website, see if they're hiring, and if they have their own apply email or
Right.
some kind of listing on their site themselves, 10 times better to do that than go on Indeed and find that same listing and apply on Indeed.
Yes.
Because they're going to get that directly, and I went from their website to do it. Same thing with walking into anywhere that still has a paper application, even if they don't.
Yeah.
Even if you walk
Yeah.
into somewhere like, well, we do all our stuff online. Well, can I just leave my name and I'll fill it
Yeah.
out and you guys give me a call?
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Yeah, that's the worst. That has happened to me before. We're walking, I'm like, hey, can I get an application? They're like, oh, we're all online. I'm like,
But
"Alright."
I'm here.
Yeah, like
I'm here now.
Yeah, like
You can't print one.
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't-
have someone talk to me.
yeah, you can't just do something to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so crazy.
I have put in the effort to come up here.
Right.
That should be like
Enough.
a
That-
notch in your belt of getting
yeah,
hired right there.
Right, just to at least see someone to talk about potentially.
Yeah.
You know, crazy.
I used to work at GameStop, and everything was all online for
Mhm.
hiring people there. And one thing that we always had a problem with is we'd get 20 applications in, and maybe 3 people would show up when we did a hiring event. Like, if someone comes in and is like, hey, I want a job, at that point I'm like, all right, let me print off an application.
Right.
Let's talk about your schedule. Let's
Right.
do an interview now.
Right.
I don't understand why that's not a thing anymore.
Right.
That's
'Cause-
not a thing businesses do.
Because that.
I
like-
know my job, I had to have 3 separate interviews to
Yeah.
get my position.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Mhm.
Having a detailed interview process isn't a problem. But at least start the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a lot of well, not a lot, but I've had like phone interviews for,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't. That seems very half-handed, you know.
So when you do phone interviews, are you talking like FaceTime or text?
No, phone.
On the phone.
On the phone. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, this doesn't seem, you know, and it wasn't like it was, you know, going to be a process
Mhm.
sort of thing, and that seemed to be like the
first screening.
Yes, yes, and I was like, okay, like wasn't my cup of tea.
It's just there's something that just doesn't feel personal or professional about it. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That was the same with mine. I had a phone interview, and then I had a Zoom interview, and then I had an in-person interview. It was like they got more and more personal with it,
Yeah.
and it was like the beginning. There was a disconnect, and it was like I don't know, and then they were like, all right, now you can come in. Now we can see your face.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, they should start with the face interview and then call you later.
Yeah, at least like come in to fill out the application.
Yeah.
Or like come in to hand it in. Something along those lines, man. I don't know.
It's just so crazy that, like, you'll go to a chatbot now. You'll go to this website. You'll apply. You'll get like a portion of the way through the the application process,
not
right?
even an interview, yeah.
Yeah, not even an interview, an application process, and then you're stuck.
Yep.
You can't. There's a glitch. You know,
Yep.
like there's a technical error, and you literally cannot move forward in that process.
And then what happens? Then you go, okay, well, I'll call. And I'll explain to them I can't apply. And then
Right.
you call and it puts you online with a chat bot. And it says, well, what's your issue? Here's 6
Yeah.
options. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
one of those options.
Yeah.
I want to talk to someone. It's
Yeah.
like, well, if you want to talk to someone, you got to tell me more.
Yeah.
See, tell them more. And they say,
Yeah.
well, we don't understand. Here's the options.
Yes. Yes.
This is the problem we have.
Yes.
God, I can't tell you how long I've spent on the phone or in chats, and it just
Yes.
pisses me off
Yes.
going in circles.
Yes.
And then you get on the line with a representative, right? You
Mhm.
finally do it. You spend an hour and a half trying to weave your way through and hanging up and picking a
Mhm.
different button, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get through to a representative. And then you do. And then you're in a piss poor attitude, and that representative didn't do anything
Yeah,
wrong.
right,
They're just
right.
trying to do their job.
Right.
And then
I'm
you just
livid.
have to explain
Yeah.
yourself again because the chat box doesn't explain to the person
Right.
what's going on.
And then they put you on hold and say, let me see if I can find someone that
Yep.
can help with that. You're in the help center.
Yeah.
Help me, damn it.
I hate that. I hate that shit. Yeah, I think
they're
getting
going-
any technical support where that person isn't right there with you or you're not in that
Yeah.
shop fixing that thing is just always going to be a pain.
I think, if anything, they need to have a chat box that relays the message. Whatever you told them, they need to relay it to the person
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
getting you on the line.
Well, anytime I'm in an online chat box and then the AI is trying to walk me through it,
Yeah.
at the point where I get the representative, I tell them go up and read. That's always my first message.
Right.
216-859-8699.
CBW Radio, the greatest culture mix since your mom had that orgy.
That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, churn world serves its own needs, dummy serve your own needs, beat it up an ox, speak, grunt, no strength, the ladder starts to clatter with fear, fight down, high wire and a fire, represented 7 games in a government for hire and a combat site. Left to us are coming in a hurry with the furies beating down. Yo,
listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
I didn't walk into this afraid for humanity, yet here we are.
Only on CBW Radio.
It's new, it's wow, it's now, and how. The last part, that was me.
Yeah, I like that. That was a little improv.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's Spider-Man, damn it!
Spider-Man!
It's been
Damn it.
It's been about, what, 3 weeks since the Spider-Verse came out?
Yeah, I think.
And it's enough time to talk about it, right?
Yeah, the embargo has been lifted. We can talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Those damn comic book embargoes, man. They get harder every movie.
Yeah.
I swear.
The spoiler embargo.
That's what it is.
That's what they call it.
Spoiler embargo?
There's a spoiler embargo. It's like the first couple weeks, and then after the spoiler embargo lifts, then you can.
We tore the spoiler embargo in half when No Way Home came out.
Yeah.
That was the next day.
Yeah, we talked about it immediately.
Yeah. So, we've given you guys enough time. You know we like to talk about when a movie comes out and it's Marvel related
and
or DC
especially
related.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's Spider-Man, damn it!
We love Spider-Man.
So we saw Into the Spider-Verse the other night.
Yeah.
You'd seen Into the Spider-Verse, right?
I did. I saw it, not right when it came out, but I saw it pretty soon after.
It's pretty damn good. Let me just say that right off the bat.
I loved
it's pretty damn good.
I loved it. Coming into it, I hadn't seen Into the Spider-Verse probably since it came out, or a year after it came out, 2019, something like that. So it'd been a little while, and I was kind of worried that I wouldn't understand the story beats.
Mhm.
I wouldn't remember the story, but I was
Immediately.
totally
It was
fine. Yeah, it was right. It didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
You didn't. There
first
was
20 minutes they catch you up.
Right.
there.
I didn't need any It was very much oh, I'm right back to where we were. This is fine. This is good. And I don't know. I'm about to gush, but it felt like
put down a towel.
It felt like the third act of a very long, a 6-hour long movie. This was just the middle part of it, and I think that was the most exciting part for me because I left the movie theater being oh, I need to see the end. I need to see the rest of this right now. I need to see the conclusion right now. You know, and we only have to wait a year. Apparently, it comes out 2024. I don't remember the exact date, but
So going into it, right?
Yeah.
Only saw parts of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the overview, things like that.
Right,
and I'm like,
right.
it's cool. I see what they're doing here.
Mhm.
Cute little story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all. And I went into this. I'm like, everyone says number one, the art style. Obviously,
Yeah, I didn't
everyone
even
talks about
touch
the
on
art
that,
style,
but
yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah, I think at this point, after the first one into this one, we don't even really need to talk about the art style that much.
Yeah.
That is the
Everybody
thing.
knows that it's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, which it was.
Yeah.
Would you say they worked 4 years on?
It was. I read that the animators said they worked 2 years on only Spider-Punk's character design and being able to put him in every scene. It took 2 years to do.
Yeah.
Because his art style was so unique.
Different.
Yeah.
Which again, really cool, great art style. They make them clash very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
No more needs to be said about that.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say.
Right.
But going into it, I'm like, this will probably be a good movie. I expect a good movie.
Right.
It was pretty damn good though.
It was
it
awesome.
exceeded my expectations coming out of
it was very, very good, and I was very happy. And it was weird. I really wasn't hyped for it, and then a couple days before, I just started getting more and more this is gonna be really. And I think people were like that for a while, and I just kind of was late to the hype train. But a couple days before, I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of excited now. I kind of really want to see it.
This is very much a side project that has taken on its own life.
Oh, 100%.
This isn't when No Way Home came out and everyone was talking about it for a year straight and everyone was trying to get spoilers and leaks and I heard this and we're going to interview this guy and we're going to follow Tom Holland around. And we talk about it every other week. This wasn't that. This is, hey, we know that another Spider-Verse movie is coming out and the first one was cool. It was cute. It had a little story, right? And people were excited to see this one because it's the continuation, but no one was clamoring for it. This wasn't a big event.
Right.
No one drove in droves to the theater to see it. But I think this will be one of the ones that is put up on a pedestal.
Absolutely.
I think people will look at this trilogy in a couple years from now and be like, this is one of, if not the better Spider-Man trilogies, because it's so hard to get. I feel like people get washed in the conversation of Toby, Andrew, Tom, and it's it feels old already at this point. And I mean, the movie only came out a year or two ago, and it
Yeah.
just feels like that's what everybody talks about all the time anyways.
That is the Spider-Man movie now.
Right,
yeah.
that is the Spider-Man, and so because of that, that is the Spider-Man conversation.
Right.
But I feel like in a couple years from now, people will be like, in retrospect, this trilogy was like a good definitive Spider-Man trilogy, because there's a lot, I don't know, you see a lot of cool characters, and I think that's what everyone wants. It's just it's visual popcorn, you know,
Yeah.
it's visual candy. You're just like, this is so cool looking at all this stuff.
I had two initial thoughts watching the movie, and I think I told you both of them. And number one is this is a big fan service movie.
Right.
This is let's put as much insider baseball in here as we can.
Right.
For the people who are diehard Spider-Man fans, who
Mhm.
read the comics, who play the games, who
Right.
just want a Spider-Man movie.
Right.
You know, we're not worried about other superheroes. We're not worried about making it canon. We're not worried about shoehorning Doctor Strange in.
Right.
This is Spider-Man. This is
Right.
going to be about Spider-Man and not Peter Parker or Miles Morales or Gwen. This is just Spider-Man as a
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
This is the movie for it. And number two is it's like watching a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's different from the Spider-Man conversation we've had of who's the best Peter Parker, who's
Yeah.
the best Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We get it. It's been done, and they're great movies all in their own right, except for Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But this is a fresh take. It's Miles Morales. It's not Peter Parker. It's his story, and I think.
Right.
And initially there was a big blowback when the first one came out. I remember because they're not going to let Donald Glover be Spider-Man
Mhm.
in his own live action movie from Sony.
Well, I don't know why I didn't know this, but the origin of Miles Morales in the comics is from fans on Reddit
Yes.
pitching that Donald Glover should be Spider-Man, and so on an episode of Community, which that episode of Community is in the first Into the Spider-Verse, he's wearing a Spider-Man shirt, and so that inspired I don't want to say Sam Wells, but one of the one of the Marvel writers to create Miles Morales because he saw Donald Glover in the Spider-Man shirt, and so now that's why Miles Morales is a character. Because
So really, what we're saying is you have to thank Community for Spider-Man.
yeah,
and
literally,
Miles Morales.
literally,
Yeah.
like that's how it happened.
It's a crazy
And now Donald Glover cameos as the Prowler in the MCU. He's Miles Morales' uncle, who's
the Prowler.
Prowler. Like
there's so many little intricate tie-ins.
Right.
And real quick, before we get into that, all I was gonna say is I think they did it the right way, making this animated and having its own art style because it's a different Spider-Man. We want it to feel different, and they did that well.
I was gonna your initial point that you said is like, this isn't a Peter Parker movie. This is a Spider-Man movie. I think the first one hit that really well too. Of like, yes, this is a Miles Morales movie, but we're showing you, hi, I'm Spider-Man in my dimension, and so there's Gwen Stacy.
It's a good setup movie.
There's Peter B. Parker. There's Miles. You know, there's different versions, and so it's just a movie about Spider-Man. You know,
I think this one's far superior, at least to what I've seen of the first one. But you don't get this one without the setup of the first one. They're crucial.
You should watch the first one all the way through. It's really really good.
The first time I watched the first one, I was in the emergency room and it was on the TV, and I watched it all the way through, and I was like, "Damn, that's really fucking good."
Yeah.
And I've always been a big Spider-Man girl, so.
But real quick, let's jump back to Donald Glover and Community and the Prowler because that was probably one of my favorite parts in this whole thing. Is if you don't know, this whole thing was started by, again, like Shane said, the Reddit backing for Donald Glover to be Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because it's mentioned in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, no, they didn't even want him to be Miles Morales. Miles Morales wasn't a person yet, and they just wanted him to be Black Peter Parker.
Right.
And it did, like, that got so much that they were like, well, we'll just make that.
Yeah, we'll make it a canon thing.
Right.
And people were mad, again, because people are always mad about everything.
Well, yeah.
Especially comics. But people were mad when he got to be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man. And it's oh, well, Miles is my nephew, he says in it, right? He says something along the lines of my nephew Miles.
Yeah.
He says in there. And everyone's like, what the fuck? He's not going to be Miles Morales now.
Yeah.
That's the thing we wanted. Like, it's a little bit of fan service because it got to be Donald Glover saying the line. And,
Right,
and then
right.
there was speculation of, he'll be a big bad guy coming up in the third movie, which we never got, right?
Right.
So we got that. And for the longest time, it was like, okay, well, that was a nice little bit of... It wasn't quite what they were asking for, but it was a nice little bit of fan service.
Right.
Now we get to this movie, the Across the Spider-Verse, and we have the big scene where they've caught all the different villains that were in the wrong timelines, and they've got them captured in the Spider HQ, and they get to the Donald Glover sitting there as the Prowler, which is heavily implied that he's the Prowler in the Andrew Garfield.
He's wearing the Prowler costume.
Yeah. Which is that was so good.
I think
It was so
that's
good.
MCU Prowler.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's MCU Prowler. He's Miles's uncle in the MCU. Why wouldn't that? And it's played by the same guy. Why wouldn't
fair.
that be? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it's the multiverse, so they could put him anywhere. It's
real
one
quick,
of those
real quick.
situations.
When you say MCU Prowler, you mean from Andrew's timeline?
No, I mean
Just
MCU.
in general.
No, I mean MCU like from
Toby.
Tom.
My bad, Tom.
Yeah, because
Tom.
he's under the bridge selling the
Yeah.
guns.
Was that in Tom's movie?
Yeah, that was the first.
I'm
that was
sorry.
Spider-Man
My
Homecoming.
bad. I kept thinking Amazing Spider-Man. No, you're
No,
right.
yeah, that was from
That was
Homecoming.
from Homecoming.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, so yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's heavily implied that that's that timeline.
Yeah.
And we will probably get some kind of Prowler cameo in the future, I think.
It was, and like the fact that he was wearing the full suit, I don't know. It was very, very cool. I loved
Because now that suit's made. That suit exists.
Yeah, you can go. I think about that with like, in Doctor Strange, there was like a big statue of Doctor Strange because he died in one of the multiverse. And in some studio set somewhere, there's a giant 30-foot statue of Doctor Strange, like gold statue, you know?
Well, Willem Dafoe kept the Goblin costume.
Yeah, right.
He stole it.
So awesome.
I love all the little Easter eggs. Like he mentioned Doctor Strange and that little idiot.
Yeah.
And like it just tied it all together.
Well, and that's
and
another.
the screen the screen shares of the live action movies.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Super duper cool. And I mean, that's just like, at this point, we know that like
they're gonna have to mention it.
I am of the belief that this Miles that we're seeing in Across the Spider-Verse is gonna come over to the MCU, and then he will just be Miles in the MCU.
That Miles.
Yeah, he will just be across this. He will be the one from this universe, but he'll be.
Be in another universe, and that universe is the canon MCU universe.
Right, right.
I love that. I love that theory. I like
Yeah.
that a lot, and I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
Especially since we know we're setting up for a third movie, which seems to be the most climactic one.
Well, and that's like,
if that movie ends with him going through a portal and we don't know where he went.
Yeah, no, we know. Well, we know.
We know.
He goes through one of the spots and he ends up on Tom Holland's front doorstep.
That's how they do it in the comics, where he's originally from the Ultimate Universe, where Spider-Man Peter Parker dies, but then through like some big convoluted comic story, they bring him over to Earth 616 to make him like a canonical character.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they'll do with the MCU. It's just kind of like mirror that in the comics, you know?
I'll say this. I'll say what these movies have done. I've always been a big Spider-Man fan, right? When I started learning about Miles Morales Spider-Man, I wasn't sold on it. I liked the idea of just having the alternate Spider-Man, but my whole thing was, well, it doesn't have the tenured story that Peter Parker does, right? It doesn't have that big setup. We don't know all of the lore going in, essentially. And I think these movies did a lot for that, where I'm like, Spider-Man Miles Morales could stand on his own now.
Well, and it's so awesome that, like, the writers of this took the Spot, who's like some goofy ass character from the 60s, and they were like, no, we're gonna make him super OP and badass and scary, and like he's the real big bad, you know? Because we're gonna see him.
And they made him goofy in the beginning too.
Yeah,
they introduced him right.
It was a good like dichotomy of, we can tell why he's silly, and we can see the Spot that's kind of a funny thing, and Miles hits him with the bagel in the first movie, but by the end of it, you're like, oh shit, the Spot's fucking. He's a problem.
He's gonna ruin the world.
Yeah. Miles has a serious issue on his hands right now. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like by the end of the movie, so he has to deal with the fact that he's in the alternate universe with the evil version of him that's the Prowler, and his uncle, who's probably also wants to kick his ass, and he has to worry about the Spot being in his universe when he comes back. It's gonna be a good movie. I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah. I really appreciate, and I know we talked about this a little bit, I really appreciate the live-action intercuts in it. Because they didn't have to. There's so much Spider-Man jam-packed. They have a Lego Spider-Man, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I said this before, but it was, I forget if it was like 11-year-old or a 14-year-old, but he had, some kid had recreated a scene from the first movie in Lego, like, what's it called, stop motion? And so the team hired him to be on this movie to like make that Lego scene.
And they straight up took the audio from the scene of the pictures in the first movie,
laid
it right in there.
Yeah,
that was the first little instance we got of splicing the live action movies in there, is we got to hear J. Jonah Jameson's line.
And there was the hello, Peter.
Yep, when they show Doc
Hello,
Ock in the
Peter."
cage.
It's
Yep.
like we have several Doc Ocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's such a cool, such a fan servicey movie, and like
showing Peter with Uncle Ben when they do the death scenes.
Yeah, all the Peters, all on
Yeah,
the Bens. Like, that's beautiful.
I think
Which,
another
real quick,
yeah.
just for my own sanity,
Right.
They don't show Tom Holland because they can't, right? Because he's a Marvel property.
I don't know. I think
because they showed scenes from Andrews, they showed scenes from Toby's.
Right, and again, those are, and I think you're on the right
because
train
it's
of
not
thought.
Sony produced.
Yeah, Sony owns the right to that literal footage,
But
whereas
they're
Sony.
Marvel affiliates, so they should be able to use.
Sony is the parent studio for creation, though. The Spider-Man name technically belongs to Marvel through their comics, but Sony is the production company.
They have the rights to
Okay.
produce movies about them, so like there's an agreement right now. But Marvel and Sony came together and were like, okay, Marvel gets the money from the box office, but Sony gets the money from the toys and the merch, or I think it might be the other way around, something like that.
Yeah.
But they made an agreement so that
they could make the
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you're right where Sony owns like the Andrew footage and the Toby footage, so they can use that.
Mhm.
But I feel like I'm just going theory story brain, but like I think it'll be something where we see Andrew, Toby, and Tom in the third one, and it's kind of like you didn't see Tom for a reason potentially. I
Maybe,
don't know.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
also, they were going through all the Uncle Ben sequences, and Tom
didn't
have an Uncle Ben.
Yeah, he had the Aunt May scene, but like that's kind of
It's different.
Yeah,
It's not the same canon event.
Right. And okay, this is what I want to say too, though. But like, it's fan service, right? It's a lot of visual candy. Like I said, it's just cool to look at all the cameos and Easter eggs, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. That's Spider-Man from Fortnite. Like I have that.
T-Rex Spider-Man.
Right, T-Rex Spider-Man, Cat Spider-Man. This is awesome.
Scarlet Spider, the best.
Right,
best
Scarlet
character in
Spider,
there.
Andy Samberg,
Wow.
love that.
Ugh.
But like at the same exact like equally amount, it is also relevant to the story and like needs to. That stuff needs to be shown for you to understand the scale of the Spider-Verse, right?
Mm-hmm.
To that, because again, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of Spider-Men shown in the background, right? All
Right.
different variants.
Right.
They don't have to. They didn't have to add stories for individual ones, and some of them got more than others.
Right.
Obviously, 2099 is a main story. Peter B. Parker's a main story.
Right.
Spider-Gwen's a main story. But they didn't have to add Scarlet Spider in there.
Yeah,
He
right.
was in the first couple scenes. He was just a background guy that they
Right.
showed for a one-off. You thought. And then towards the end of the movie, Scarlet Spider gets his own scene in the mission.
Right,
And we
right.
get to learn a little bit more
He's
about
a part
Scarlet
of the team
Spider.
for a second. Yeah.
Yeah. They
And
have the
we'll
60s
probably-
Spider-Man.
We'll
Yeah.
guarantee see that same group in the next movie because they're working with Spider-Gwen.
Right.
I just hope, and again, we've already blown it out of the water with spoilers here,
Mhm.
but I just hope, because in the last scene, we do see the Spider-Gwen's team
Yeah.
of Spider-Men assembled, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir is there.
Oh, I think Nick Cage will come
I
back.
hope Nick Cage, because
I think he comes
he
back.
made it very public that he wasn't going to be in this one. I
Oh,
hope
really?
He comes,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
It was a big thing where
Huh.
he did a whole interview where he's like, no, they never asked me to come back, so
Huh.
if Spider-Man Noir's in it, I won't be the
Huh.
voice of it.
Huh.
So and he is working with DC now. At current time of this live show, he is under contract to do DC's
small cameo.
I'm just saying. You know they don't like to play well with each other, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they were like,
And
hey,
it is Nick Cage.
yeah, I think they're like, hey, we're Marvel. Do you want to come back and be Spider-Man again? And Nick Cage would be like, oh, hell yeah, man,
He'd be
totally.
like, only if I can get a Ghost Rider cameo.
Yeah, probably.
And I'd be like, absolutely. We have a third movie waiting for you.
We have
the
a
script.
We have a Ghost Rider sequel waiting in the archives just for you, Nick.
Dude, Ghost Rider was great. I don't know why they don't make more of them
Yeah,
with
man.
Nick Cage.
I'd be down. I'd be
Yeah.
down to see him. But yeah, I love superhero movies, and I think that this was a
This-
good continuation of, and like, this is a good example of. I don't think there is superhero fatigue. I think superheroes are a fad, and like when a good one comes around, people will acknowledge it. It's like
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Acknowledge it.
It's like Roman Reigns.
Kind of.
Marvel, pretty much just Roman Reigns,
Yeah,
guys.
kind of.
Sometimes you just gotta acknowledge
Head of the
it.
table.
Yeah.
It is the head of the table.
Yeah. I mean,
Longest reigning, right?
Right.
It's a fatigue of the format. I
Yes.
think we've seen a lot of live action movies follow the same format, especially recently where everyone has to have a multiverse and there's got to
Yeah.
be cameos and we have to have this
Yeah.
guy from this.
Right.
It's been done to death. We
Right.
had Spider-Man, which really kind of kicked off all of it, right?
Mhm.
If we want to go back, the Avengers kind of started, but we have
Right,
Spider-Man
right.
with the multiverse
Yeah.
stuff. We had 2 Doctor Strange movies that touched on it.
Yeah.
We have WandaVision. We have Loki. We have the What If series. We have
the new Ant-Man that came out.
Right,
We're
right.
waiting on the next season of Loki. Like, it's all cool, but it's all the same concept. We're just changing different characters.
Right. Right.
This does it, but it's such a different format and different
remains-
way of doing it.
Well, and it's so necessary. It's the multiverse of it all is so necessary to the story. Whereas
Yeah.
I feel like in some of them,
They could have done without.
right? And it's not like an unwelcomed addition
Yeah.
of the multiverse. You know, like it's always cool to see that kind of thing. But like some of them could have focused more on a deeper story where you
Yeah.
connect more with the characters or whatever the case may be, as opposed to just multiverse. Look,
Yeah.
you get it, you know.
But I like this version because it's not multiverse with different. It's basically the Loki version of the multiverse. There's
It's just Spider-Man.
just a bunch of Spider-Man
Right,
and
right.
their stories, and
Right.
not all of them are the same, but there are the same canon events, and that's all explained.
And
it-
J. Jonah Jameson's the same person
Yeah,
in every
I love
universe.
that. I love that.
Beautiful. You know why? Because Spider-Man, damn it.
Spider-Man. Damn
You're
it.
listening to the Rebel Radio Show, 216-859-8699. If you want to text in, let me know what you thought of the Spider-Verse movies or who your favorite Spider-Man was. Web-Slinger, another great cameo in there. Just
Yeah.
I got to throw that
Yeah.
in there because he didn't wait till 3, damn it. 216-859-8699, stylesroboradio.com gets you the link to all of our Discord servers, all of our socials, all the shows that we produce, like Shaney's Off Air.
I do show.
We got a bonus episode coming up tomorrow or the day before if you're listening in podcast form.
Heyo.
It's out 2 Tuesdays every month. 2 Tuesdays every month, and they record in batch, and it's just some random bullshit in there.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, we just shoot the shit. Pass the piss, you know.
We do pass that piss.
Volley the vomit, you know. We kind of just toss bodily fluids around for a couple hours on end and record it for you guys.
You can also listen to the Pigeonhole or Beyond Bounds with the Pidge, Evan Snarski, or the AIP. That's the Artificially Intelligence podcast that comes out once a month as well. It's completely scored, produced, written, voiced by AI, so you can really get a sense of what they would do on a show like this. Of course, we're live every Monday. CBW Radio. You can get there at cbwradio.com or Live 365, 5 p.m. every Monday right here. It's the Rebel Radio Show. Turns into the Rebel Podcast every Wednesday at 10 a.m. All major platforms, Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, Anchor, Amazon, Pandora, iHeart, you name it, we're on it. Make sure you check out CBW's schedule as well, cbwradio.com. Again, as we mentioned, but you can get 2 months of Surfshark VPN completely free right now when you visit there as well. All you got to do is click on the Surfshark icon in the top left corner. 2 months free, then a hefty discount on top of that. No restrictions when you sign up. Put it on as many devices as you want. Give it to as many people as you want to make sure they're safe, secure, and protected when they browse online, and make sure they're energized as well. Repsports.com is where you're going to go to get Raise Energy or any of their products like Hypersleep Powder Pre-Workout or Raise on the Go. Throw them all in your cart. Save 15% at checkout when you use promo code CBWSETME. That's promo code CBWSETME at checkout. We'll be back next Monday, same time, same place. I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style. Jules is on the board.
Bye.
To my right is Shani.
Bye, everyone.
Till next time, peace.